finished 4 seasons of a TV show in 4 weeks. Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and in this video, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. This is not just a review of the show, this is actually an overview of the TV show Justified. This is a show that I started watching, and it's not just an overview, it's also a discussion video, and this is mainly for this is mainly because I wanted to do this because I will be reviewing this show in January, and I wanted to talk a lot about this show. I also want to know your thoughts on the show, though, and your input on the show. I kind of got the idea of this video from one of my YouTube friends. I can't call him a YouTube friend because he is a really nice guy. All about Mike 18. He did something similar to this with Breaking Bad. I want to do the same thing. And in fact, I told him to watch the show because he's such a big fan of Breaking Bad. This is a lot like Breaking Bad. So what got me so into Justified? What made me want to watch it so much? I think just promos. As I was watching American Horror Story, I saw these promos for Justified. They kept coming and coming and coming, and I'm like, this show seems so interesting. So when I had the time, when I waited till when almost all of my shows were over, because when I started, I'm like, I am not going to have time to watch this. I waited till like a few of my shows were over, and I started watching Justified, and I'm just going to say that this show has become one of my favorite TV shows of all time. It is such a great show, and definitely I think FX is probably my favorite channel now because they have American Horror Story and they have Justified, 2 amazing shows. Is this better than American Horror Story? I really can't compare because it's a completely different show. So what is the basic plot of Justified? What is it all about? Well, each season has its own little plot, but this does have, it does have a plot. The main plot of Justified is, it centers on this, the main character is Raylan Givens, who is portrayed brilliant by Timothy Oliphant. He is just fantastic on this show. He plays a U.S. Marshal Raylan Givens, who he's walking onto this hotel swimming pool deck in Miami. He lives in Miami, Florida, and he ends up killing this guy, Tommy Bucks, and he shoots him 3 times in the chest, killing him. And his boss, and him are talking. They're sent to a hearing. He, states that the shooting was justified as the other man drew his weapon. That's why the show is called Justified. And his superior disagrees and states that Justified or not, the event will attract unwanted publicity. So basically, because of this happening, he ends up transferring Raylan back to his home state of Kentucky. And to Raylan's dismay, upon his arrival, he does reconcile with his new superior, Art Mullen, who's an old friend from his time as a shooting instructor at Glencoe Training Academy. And he's assigned a case involving another old friend, Boyd Crowder, who he used to work with at the coal mines before becoming a marshal. So that is basically the main plot of the show. It's him in Kentucky basically having all these different cases. Each season kind of brings up a new case. Each season does. Season 1 is the case of Boyd Crowder. Boyd Crowder is a very big character in the show. It's more like what's going on with the Crowder family and everything. And he actually gets involved. He starts a sexual relationship with this girl, Ava, who just shot her husband because he tried to rape her, something like that. I can't remember exactly, but I think he tried to rape her. And she shot him because of that. So he gets involved with that. Season 2 is about the Bennett family. Now, the Bennett family are the Givens' enemies, basically. And it's what happens when Mags Bennett kind of kills this one girl, Loretta's father, and takes her in and adopts her. It's what is he going to do to them? And also he has to deal with her 3 sons, Dickie, Coover, and Doyle. He has to deal with her 3 sons as well. Season 3 brings in probably the best villain we've had on the show. Actually, no, I think Season 4 had the best villain. It's second best villain, Robert Quarles, who is this very big, rich guy who is just, he's huge, he's very, very rich, and he wants to bring up this, drug, basically wants to sell drugs and everything like that, so he's a lot like that. And that's what he does. And then Season 4 is, a little bit different. It's more about the, mystery of Drew Thompson. It's like this mystery bag and everything. And, that's what each season is like. Each season brings up a different plot. What I love about the show, though, is it's not really just a police procedural show. It is so much more than that. It is much more a character-driven show, and that's one of the great things about it. Also, if you guys want a show with Breaking Bad, I have not watched Breaking Bad. I've only seen the first episode and the last episode. This definitely makes up for me not watching Breaking Bad, because this is as close to Breaking Bad as you can get. It really is. This is FX's Breaking Bad, and that's so great about the show. That's one of the things I love. By the way, the reason I'm holding up season 4 is because this is the only season I have. The other 3 seasons I watched on Amazon Instant Video, so I can't show the other seasons, but you guys can see it in the picture, in the thumbnail of this video, so yeah. So let's get into each of the characters for this show. What makes the show so great are definitely the characters. There are some really great characters on the show. It's just a very driven, the characters in the show definitely make the show so great. And it's just one of the best parts of the show. There are a few characters that I have not talked about yet, so let's just get into them. Of course, our main character is Raylan Givens, who is portrayed by Timothy Olyphant, and he does a fantastic job. I mean, what I love about Raylan Givens is that he basically, the whole thing with killing being justified, basically he thinks that, oh, if someone pulls a gun on me, I can kill them. And also, he also tries to get to know the people. He tries to, see things their way. I like that about Season 1. However, the other seasons I do like a little bit more. Season 1 does drag a little bit, I will say, because Season 1 is more like there's a different case every week. I wasn't a huge fan of that. The end of Season 1 is when I really started to love the show. And, definitely, though, he does a great job. The other main character, the next character we've talked about is Art Mullen, Deputy Art Mullen, who is good. He definitely, I like him a lot. I think he's a nice friend towards Raylan, and I definitely like Art Mullen. Then you have this girl, Rachel, what's her name? I can't think of Rachel's name right now. Oh my gosh. I can't think. Rachel Brooks. Rachel Brooks is she's not in every single episode, but she's basically his partner in the show. She works on a lot of cases with him and things like that, and I definitely like seeing her in a lot of cases. She provides some comic relief to the show, and I definitely enjoy her. Also, Timothy Olyphant as Raylan, he also provides a lot of comic relief, and that's great. Then you have Ava, who I already talked about Ava, who is portrayed really well by Joel Carter. And then there's Jacob Pitts as Tim Gutterson. Tim Gutterson is also one of the people working as a U.S. Marshal, so he also is a great character. And you also have Winona. Now, Winona is a very complex character. Winona, basically, she is the character who... She has, she is Raylan's ex in the beginning of the show. They have just gotten a divorce and everything. They do end up renewing their relationship in Season 1. And towards Season 2, they start dating again. Season 3, they're dating, but then she ends up leaving him. And as far as Season 4 goes, at the end of Season 4, it seems like they've reconciled the relationship again. So, she was dating another person, Gary. However, Gary does get killed off. I will say that. Gary does end up getting killed off, so, yeah. So that's Winona. But by far the best character on this show is Boyd Crowder. Boyd Crowder is such an interesting character. You never know where he's going to go. Like, he always is. Boyd Crowder is definitely this... I mean, in the beginning of the show, he is taken to prison, and, Season 1 is all about him. But each season, he's trying to come up with, new ideas for everything. Definitely Season 3 is when his character started to get really interesting, because he starts, stealing all of Mag Bennett's. His plot was, trying to find Mags Bennett's marijuana after her death, basically. What she did with the money. Definitely, that was interesting. Also, his relationship with Ava, I think, is also very interesting. They have an interesting relationship, and I definitely enjoy the relationship. And in fact, in the show right now, they are supposed to be fiancés, basically. So I definitely enjoy that about the show as well. So definitely that is one of the great things about the show, and the show is usually divided into two separate parts. You know, the main plot always has to do with Raylan and Art and Rachel and Tim and Winona. The subplot always has to do with Boyd and Ava and all of them. However, they all intertwine in the end, and that's one of the great things about this show, is that they all intertwine, and that's what's so good. Now, as I was saying, Season 1 was not the most exciting season for me. I was into Season 1. The only thing I didn't like was that we got a different character, like, every single season. Like, every single episode, it was a different case. Towards the end of Season 2, I think that's when I really started to get into this show. Like, Episode 9, I'd say Episode 9, Season 2, is when I really started to get into this show, because they threw a really big curveball at the end of, on Episode 9, Season 2, and I really enjoyed seeing that a lot. That was really, really great. So definitely that's when this show got really good. And this season I'm pulling right now, Season 4, is probably the best season of the show. You get a lot of really big characters on this season. It definitely is a very big mystery this season. And, you know, this season, it's more around the mystery bag and everything. And that's one of the things that makes Season 4 so great. Definitely, I really love that. Now, Season 5, I am going to briefly talk about what Season 5 is going to have. Season 5 is going to have to deal with the Crow case. Now, the only Crow character that has been introduced on the show is Dewey Crow. Basically, Raylan has now been suspended from his job, basically. He's been suspended by Art, so he's going to be going on his own little mission. He's going to be going somewhere else. I don't remember exactly where he's going, but he's not going to be in Kentucky. He's going to be somewhere else. And meanwhile, Boyd and Wynn Duffy, who's the other character on the show, Wynn Duffy and Boyd always have this interesting friendship, interesting, you know, partnership that they always have. They're going to be doing their own thing as well, so we're definitely going to see what Season 5 holds. However, I encourage all of you to watch this show. I can't recommend this show enough. It is such a great show. Definitely, I will be reviewing this show to you guys when it comes on. I believe the date is January 8th. Let me just check that really quickly, because I could be wrong about that. I believe it is January 8th, though, and that is when it comes out. Season 5, January 7th. No, not January, January 7th. And, it's always 13 episodes, and it's always so great. And I have not seen a season, there's not a single bad episode on the show. The only thing that people might not like about this show is that there is a new character introduced almost every single episode, and it does get a little confusing after a while, but it doesn't get too confusing, I will say that. It might sound like a confusing show, but it's not really confusing at all, as long as you're paying attention to it, which I was. And it is a really great show. So yeah, that's basically my overview of Justified, and I have a couple questions for you guys. What's your favorite season of Justified? Who's your favorite character on the show? I know a lot of people love Boyd Crowder, and I can see exactly why from the show. What are you looking forward to in Season 5? What was your favorite storyline? You know, things like that. But that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And my next video is going to probably, I don't know what my next video will be. I have a couple videos to do before the new year comes in. Best movies of 2013 that will be coming up, but I do have to review a couple movies first that I think might make that list. And also, I have to do the mid-season schedule, the shows I will be watching, because there are a couple changes coming up with that, which might be my next video. Yeah, that will probably be my next video. So, I'll see you guys then. Bye.